Today, we're diving into one of the most relatable struggles on the planet, the battle to get a handle on our own minds. It's a fight every single one of us faces, and man, can it be frustrating. So let's explore how we can actually start to win it.
I mean, seriously, have you ever felt that? That internal tug of war where you know you should be doing one thing, but your mind is just screaming at you to do something else. Or you're trying to focus, and your thoughts are just gone, running off in a million directions. That's the exact conflict we're going to unpack today.
All right, so before we jump into any solutions, we have to get a really clear diagnosis of the problem. What is an uncontrolled mind actually doing in there? What's all that inner noise about?
I love this analogy. Just think of your mind as a TV that you can't turn off. It's just always on, and it's constantly broadcasting channels you never even chose. You've got reruns of old mistakes, fantasy channels about the future, 24/7 news reports on all your anxieties. It just all pops up straight from the subconscious. And most of the time, we're just sitting there watching it.
So to really diagnose this, we can use this little acronym, MIND. First, it magnifies problems, right? It takes a tiny little issue and blows it up into a full-blown catastrophe. Then it imagines pleasures, cooking up all these fantasies that pull us away from what's real. It also neglects responsibility, always looking for an easier path. And finally, it denies reality. Because let's be honest, the mind often prefers its own story.
And this right here, this is the mind's core business, day in and day out. Ancient texts call it sankalpa and vikalpa. You make a decision, a resolution. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up early and go for a run. That's sankalpa. And then, maybe 2 seconds later, your mind chimes in, or, you could hit snooze. The bed is so warm. That's vikalpa. This endless back and forth, this accepting and rejecting is what keeps us stuck and restless.
So why? Why does our mind do this? Is it just badly designed? Let's dig a little deeper and get to the root cause of all this internal chaos.
Okay, so a huge part of the problem is our default setting, which for many of us is a reactive mindset. When something goes wrong, the reactive mind's first instinct is to look outside for blame. It's the traffic's fault, it's the weather's fault, it's my boss's fault. But a proactive mind, it flips the script. It takes responsibility. It says, okay, this is the situation, now what can I do? That little shift is absolutely monumental.
This quote is just so powerful, isn't it? It reminds me of that old story about the person who kept complaining that their neighbor's laundry was always dirty. Then one day, someone cleaned their windows, and suddenly, the neighbor's laundry looked perfectly clean. So often, the problem isn't the world out there. It's the dirty window we're looking through.
But there's an even deeper layer to this. There's this incredibly powerful energy at play called Maya. You can think of it as the fundamental operating system of the material world. Its whole function is to wrap us up in illusion, to make us forget our true spiritual nature, and to create challenges that frankly torment us until we start looking for a higher truth. And here's the kicker. This energy is way too powerful to overcome on our own.
So if we can't just overpower this energy, then what in the world are we supposed to do? Well, this brings us to the first part of a crucial two-part solution, our own sincere, personal effort. This idea is an absolute game changer for taking back control. Think about it. Something happens out in the world. That's the stimulus. And then we react. That's the response. But in between those two things, there's a space, a tiny little gap. And in that gap, that's where all our power lies. It's the freedom to choose how we respond.
And the most profound example of this has to be Viktor Frankl. Here's a psychologist imprisoned in Auschwitz, enduring the absolute worst horrors humanity has ever devised. His captors could control everything about his external world, his body, his freedom, his family. But Frankl had this incredible realization. They could not touch his inner world. They could not take away his freedom to choose his response. And he chose to find meaning, even in that unimaginable suffering. That choice didn't just save his life. It has since inspired millions.
Frankl's story shows the incredible power of human will. It's truly inspiring. But when we're dealing with something as powerful as Maya, the sources are clear. Our effort alone, no matter how heroic, is often not enough. And this brings us to the second, essential pillar of the solution, grace.
So how exactly does this work? Let's use this brilliant analogy. Imagine your uncontrolled mind. This energy, Maya, is like a huge, fearsome guard dog. And you need to get into the house it's guarding. What do?
Okay, let's walk through this step by step. First, you try to sneak past the dog on your own. Bad idea, it's too big, too strong, you fail. You quickly realize your own strength is not going to cut it. So what's next? You call out to the owner of the dog, the master of the house. The master comes out, says a word to the dog, and suddenly this ferocious animal is calm and obedient. The path is clear. See what happened? You didn't defeat the dog, you got help from the only one who actually controls it.
This quote from Sri Aurobindo just ties it all together beautifully. It's not one or the other. It's not just our effort, and it's not just waiting around for grace. It's the combination of the two. It's our sincere effort, our unfailing aspiration that calls from below, that actually attracts the divine grace that answers from above. It's a partnership.
So what's the condition? How do we invite this grace into our lives? The word for it is sharanagati, or surrender. And it's so important we understand this right. The word surrender can sound passive, like you're just giving up, but that's not it at all. This is an internal state of consciousness. It's an active, sincere, humble recognition that you need help, and then turning toward that higher power to actually receive it. So, when we finally put these two keys together, our own proactive effort, finding that gap, and this higher grace that comes when we sincerely ask, what's the result? What's the promise here? What does a truly mastered mind even feel like?
Well, the goal isn't to have a totally blank, empty mind. Not at all. The goal is to have a focused, strong, resilient mind. A mind that's no longer a victim of life's circumstances, but an active player. So when a challenge comes, instead of collapsing, a controlled mind asks, okay, what's the opportunity here? How can I use this to grow? It learns to transform adversity into an advantage.
So as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your mind is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool you will ever own. It can be your worst enemy, or it can be your absolute best friend. It shapes your entire reality. So the question is, today, right now, who's in charge of it? Is it you, or is it that TV that never turns off? Because as we've seen, the choice is, and always will be, yours.